Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. This is another video for Amiga, where we celebrate all things Amiga in the month of May. I got my Amiga 600 set up, and I've got a little collection of things that I'm going to talk about today. I got most of these from AliExpress for really inexpensive. So I got this SD card reader for about $8. I've got this PCMCIA to Compact Flash for about $3.50, and then there's a Compact Flash to SD for about $8 or $8.50. Then I also got one of these, which I actually have one already inside the Amiga with an extra one of these. I got that for $2 on eBay, which is a pretty good deal. And then I had this other thing from eBay I got was this micro drive, which was the thing I really was excited about, which is it's a 1-inch hard disk that came out of, I think, an iPad Nano. And this one's made by Hitachi, 4 gigabytes. And when I originally got this, I used this, plugged it in, and hooked it to my Windows machine, and it saw it, 4 gigabytes. Looked like there was a couple of folders on there with some files, you could read them. But the first thing I did is I wanted to reformat this as an Amiga drive, and so I used disk part on Windows and cleaned it, and then mounted it on WinUAE, and there's lots of videos out there on how to do that. Use the UAE driver. Initially, I was trying to use the IDE driver because that's the instructions they give you if you want to make this a bootable disk on here, but it wasn't able to read the configuration on this drive. It kept giving millions of sectors or billions of sectors, and WinUAE actually reads about 9,736 cylinders, and so I ended up putting it by hand and in HD Toolbox, and it saw 2 gigabytes, not 4 gigabytes, but at least that was close. So then I was like, let me just use the WinUAE, the UAE driver instead, and then it saw the whole 4 gigabytes, and I did a full format, and it went about an eighth, and then stopped. And I think that's when it broke, because after that, no more disk partitioning. You can't put an MBR record on there. I tried the disk partitioning software that comes with Windows. I tried DiskPart as well. So there's a graphical configuration one in Windows, and also the I'll put in the comments AEOMI or it's called Partition Assistant, and I tried it with that as well, and would not partition anymore. And then with that last program, I also did a low-level sector, see which ones were bad, and they were all bad. I mean, it went through the first eighth of the sectors, and they were all bad, and so I just stopped it at that point. So I got another one. These were only $14, so I ordered another one, and if the other one works, I might try to get refunded on this one, because they did say these were tested and worked. But miniature mechanical is kind of cool. And the idea is put it inside of here so that I have a real mechanical drive in my Amiga versus an SD. And you might go, why? SDs are more reliable. Obviously, I didn't expect this to break, but just to have a real mechanical is kind of cool. Like I said, I like magnetic media, QL, zip drives, even floppies, and just the fact that this is called micro drive, which is a QO as well. I just think it's kind of cool, and the fact that it's just a 1-inch platter. I mean, wow. Yep. So not today. Again, this is, if you don't know, this is in a compact flash format. So you plug this into compact flash. Actually, I don't even know if this would fit. I think this might be too fat. I didn't even think of that. Let's try it. This takes a little bit of effort to come out. There we go. Would this actually fit in here? Oh yeah, so that's a no-go. I think that's what you're saying for Compact Flash Type 1, which is what this is, versus Type 2, which are fatter, and this is a Type 1 reader. I guess I would have to get a Type 2 reader. But I could put it internally, you know. That was just, I'm using this thing right now internally. And I could, so this definitely fits in here. And oops. So that would work, because it worked before. So I could have that sitting internally in here. I mean, right, without this on it, and just directly with one of these cables, IDE. So I might do that in the future when I get a new one, but not in this video, unfortunately. Okay, but they're pretty neat. I might take this one apart if I can't get it refunded. So what I'm going to do instead today is just work on showing you how I got the PCMCIA to work. And again, I was pretty happy because reading things online about this was that these had to be special PCMCIA, not all of them worked. Well, this was a cheap $3.50 one from AliExpress, and it works. What it won't work with is I have a 16 gigabyte card in here. So this is a Compact Flash to SD, and then a SD to micro SD. This is a 32 gig, and I can't get this to read it. It's a micro center one. So it might have a size limit, but let me show you what I had to do. Right now I have a floppy in here because I don't like the drive making a noise. So this pops all the way in, and then right. So the first thing I have to do is so I installed. Let me show you what I had to do to install it. So there's two programs, and I'll put in the comments on where they are in Aminet, but there's a Compact Flash driver, and then it also wants the FAT95 or Windows 95 FAT file allocation table driver. And what's cool about that, actually, it's actually better than what comes with Workbench 2.1's DOS driver, in that so I haven't clicked the DOS driver, but if I go under FAT95 and click under English, there is a MS0. So if I do that, it's actually going to read this drive now. And in here, the difference now is if I show all, I can now get file names other than, so I created this disk on my Windows with the PC, the DOS driver from Workbench 2.1, and I got used to making just short file names, like getting rid of the O and info so that I can rename it more easily and not have a weird looking file name with the tilde character. But just to see if using this new Microsoft driver, I guess Windows driver, FAT95, I have a full file name here now. So that's nice. So again, if I used if I use this driver instead, I wouldn't, that file would be, this file would just be new and then tilde some numbers.txt. So yep, that's one bonus for that. But here's what you have to do. The CFD driver is easy to install, but it does say you need the FAT95. With FAT95, I copied, again, what's in here is show all. There's a C and an L and a file called copying, and then other than that, in the zip file, it's actually an LHA file. There's different languages. I just copied the English one, and there's also source. I didn't care about that. And so the L just has this is code, I guess library stuff, and the C, I didn't have to touch any of this stuff. But what actually happens is what you do is they claim that you go into English, you edit this install FAT, which is a script, I did to refine it, but I didn't change any of that. And then once it's done, you just double click on it. And I think what that does is it uses this must be an installer. And what it does, I kind of poked around. It copies into your was it in the L? If you do a show all, it copies. I think it was in L. You'll see that there's a FAT95, yeah. So that's what it copies in. So then, every time your system boots, it'll automatically have that in, and so you don't have to keep doing the install for that. And then if you want to, if you want to use the MS driver, you just, I guess you could move MS0 and MS1. I might do that into where is it? I just close it into the storage part and just have maybe a Windows MS drivers instead of a DOS driver, or maybe just stick it right in here as an MS0 and MS1, and that just gives you better file names for DOS disks. So that's a good side effect. That wasn't the point of this. So once you've got this installed, again, just to repeat, all you have to do is double click on this file and you're done. And it'll just copy the FAT95 in the right place, and the driver is loaded. Then for CFD, what you've got to do is under devs, you just copy. I made a copy of Compact Flash device, and you move that into devs on your Workbench file. So it goes into, it goes into here. It goes into devs. And then other than that, you just double click on CF0 and that gets it started. And I'm sure there's some way you can put that in the startup so it automatically does it. But once you double click on that, if this is already plugged in, it'll come to life. If not, now what will happen with this installed is if you plug this in, and again, plugging on the side, you can kind of see it. You have to wait a little bit and you just go boom. And have I clicked it yet? Oh, I don't think I have, because I just booted it up. So I have to actually do that now. If I double click on that, maybe I have to unplug it and plug it back in. Yep, and now you can see it'll pop up. So you have to make sure that's installed before you plug it in. So once it's done, then every time you plug it in with so this has a 16 gigabyte card in there, it'll actually see it. And it says, it only sees 2 gigabytes. So I don't know how this would be with regard to, well, I guess what I don't know, this is the card I use on my, yeah, and so this is actually the micro SD card I use on my QL's V drive, which is its SD reader. And what I don't know is, no, it's 16 gigabytes, but for whatever reason, it only sees 3 as free, and it only has 21 megs on there. So, yeah, I don't know if, I mean, I can copy, let me copy a file over. Let me do the configuration file right here. I'll copy to my RAM disk. I guess I have to show it. So, yep, it copied just fine. So I don't know why, maybe showing the wrong size, because it is a 16 gigabyte card, but it thinks it's like 3 gigabytes in size. So that might just be, so probably the best thing with PCMCIA cards is to, maybe I should partition this, or just find a smaller SD card. Go on eBay and find an old 1 or 2 gigabyte ones. They're hard to find. I have an 8 gigabyte. I don't think I have anything smaller than that. Again, this micro drive here is 4 gigabytes, so that might be kind of cool. So I guess must be a limit, but for a reason it's working now. So I suppose if I'm copying files on here, let me see if I can do that. What do I want to copy on here? Let's copy. is there a, oh, I think I can just, let's copy Z shell on here. Huh? That's not a trivial program. How big is that? Information. It's 37. Okay, so it's not huge. What is it? Oh, maybe a, I know what I can do. Under expansion, have emulators? Yeah, so these are probably going to be pretty big. Should I copy the whole? I'll just do that. Let's copy that over, see what happens. I have that card. Oh, it copied it. So that's actually, that's pretty fast too. Wow. It doesn't tell you how much is on there, but what's in here? PC. This is PC task, so this is going to be pretty sizable. 65. Yeah. Guess that's the problem with these old machines is that I don't have shapeshifter on here. Let's copy QO boot. Let's keep copying and see what it does. Okay, this is better. So this is bigger. This is going to copy successfully. It's hitting the disk. I don't know if you can see the light or not. You should be able to see it. So that's a good copy, and it finished. And I got QO boot. Yep. So it looks like, yeah, the files are on here. So whatever the size it may say about the size, it doesn't seem to impact the copying. I mean, I wouldn't want to max this out, but yeah, it's a nice way to interface between outside world and inside world, you know, the Amiga world. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so a pretty easy, seamless installation. I would have thought that I would run into more issues, but no, it actually went really quickly. And I have to say that that's a nice convenience to have, just to have this compact flash. And again, it's the first time I hooked anything to, you know, the PCMCIA slot. One question I have for my Amiga viewers: can I have a network card? What kind of network card can you put in here? And what software? Like, for instance, I have a wireless network card. I mean, there's a 1 megabyte Amiga, so I might not have enough memory to do all that stuff. But I'm just curious what, actually, let me just unplug this now. It's a little, so, always I'm curious. It should go away. It does not. Oh, it did go away. Oh, and then, yeah, so it does take up quite a bit of memory. A couple of 100K to read that. So yeah, it's a 1 megabyte machine, but you know, temporarily. And so I've got both of these now. Let me reboot this and see what the size is. So 6.8. Let's see what we get. Hopefully it won't try to boot off of the floppy. Well, it's an MS-DOS floppy, so it should, and then it'll just quickly go off of my SD card. Which is, yeah, I did a video on that a while ago. But let's see how big it is. 787, so 78244. So 78. So that's what you get, about close to 800K. So without mounting that disk, let's just do the CF card. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit this driver. Yeah, I should probably, I mean, it depends on how much I use it. I should probably put it in some startup. Okay, so how much did it take? Let me close all this stuff. So it was 7.8. So 40K, okay, that's not bad. And then if we plug in the SD card, here we go. So it went 740 to, ooh, that's, yeah, it's quite a bit. It went from 740, so 170K to put this in. Okay, so the question, oh, so it has Z shell and PC task. What about QL boots in here too? Okay, yeah, so that was the, okay, perfect. What about, so if I then unplug this, how much of this do I get back? Boy, is it supposed to be? There we go. Okay. So, okay, get it all back for the 40. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, 40K, I could live with that. If you saw one of the other videos you did, and I think it's going to come up before this, was the executive, which is another 40K. So you just get eating at the memory. I guess I need to get 1 megabyte isn't going to be enough if I want to add all these tools to it. But anyway, yeah, so the Compact Flash driver, this is going to be really convenient for me now because I've been using floppy disks to copy stuff over, and it's even now with the FAT95 MS0 driver, a floppy would have been easier, but now I can just get really large amounts of information onto my workbench, which itself is, yeah, I guess it's a 1.5 gig partition. So yeah, I think I can put more stuff on here now much quicker because I can plug my SD card into my Mac or a Windows machine and grab information off quickly. So I think that's really convenient. So AliExpress, $3.50 for this. Does it have a brand name? It says just Compact Flash adapter. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I can show you what the picture looks like. But so if you find it on AliExpress, it works with a Compact Flash to SD adapter, also from AliExpress. So Type 1, so you can fit into this. So yep, that's all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and watch some other Amiga videos, not just mine, but hopefully there will be a few other folks participating. And yeah, if you have any feedback on that, I'd love to hear from you. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.